Most companies think their SOC 2 compliance process is foolproof, but the truth is the majority make costly mistakes that put deals at risk. In this video, I'll walk you through the ultimate SOC 2 compliance checklist, plus the most common mistakes you need to avoid. My name's Christian Khoury. I've helped companies streamline their compliance process for years, helping them save thousands of dollars and secure big contracts by getting it right the first time. SOC 2 compliance isn't just a checkbox, it's your gateway to landing enterprise deals. A single oversight could not only delay your certification, but also damage your reputation and cost you key opportunities. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. So what exactly is SOC 2 compliance and why does it matter so much? SOC 2 is a security framework developed by the AICPA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. It's designed to ensure that companies properly manage and protect customer data. If you're a SaaS business, this isn't optional. Enterprise customers expect it, investors look for it, and failing to get compliant could cost you major deals. At its core, SOC 2 is built around 5 trust services criteria. Think of these as the pillars of security and reliability. The first one's called security, protecting your systems from unauthorized access, data breaches, and attacks. Next is availability, which is ensuring your systems are up and running when customers need them. Third is processing integrity, which is making sure data is processed correctly without errors and delivers accurate results. Fourth is confidentiality, which is keeping sensitive business data safe, whether it's customer records, financial data, or trade secrets. Last is privacy, which is handling personal information responsibly and ensuring compliance with privacy regulations. Now, there's 2 types of SOC 2 reports, and understanding them is key. The first is a SOC 2 Type 1. This evaluates whether your security controls are designed properly at a single point in time. Think of it like a snapshot of your security policies. You also have a SOC 2 Type 2. This goes further, testing whether your security controls actually work over a longer period, typically 3 to 12 months. This is the report that most enterprise customers expect because it proves your security isn't just theoretical, it's operational. So why does all this matter? Because SOC 2 compliance isn't just a security checkbox, it's a business strategy. Without it, landing enterprise clients becomes nearly impossible. With it, you unlock new deals, build trust, and protect your company from costly data breaches. The process can feel overwhelming, but don't worry, I'm going to break it down step by step. So let's get into it. If you're running a SaaS business or even a fintech, a health tech, or insurtech company, achieving SOC 2 compliance isn't just about security, it's about survival. It's the difference between landing big enterprise deals and losing out to competitors who took compliance seriously. Let's break down exactly why SOC 2 matters and how it impacts your bottom line. Firstly, it builds trust with customers. In today's world, customers, especially enterprise clients, want to know that their data is safe. When you achieve SOC 2 compliance, you're not just meeting a security standard, you're proving that your company takes data protection seriously. This builds trust, reduces customer concerns, and strengthens your reputation in the market. Secondly, it opens the door to bigger deals. Here's the reality. If you're selling to enterprises, SOC 2 compliance isn't optional, it's expected. Large companies have strict security requirements, and if you don't have a SOC 2 report, they'll move on to a competitor who does. Without compliance, you're automatically disqualified from a lot of major contracts before you even get a chance to pitch. One SaaS company we worked with previously had a $400,000 contract lined up, but because they weren't SOC 2 compliant in time, the deal shrank to just $97,000. They lost over 75% of their potential revenue just because they didn't have the right certification. And they're not alone. This happens all the time. Third, it reduces legal and security risks. Beyond losing deals, non-compliance can leave your business exposed to serious risks. Data breaches are expensive. On average, a single breach can cost a company $4.45 million in fines, legal fees, and lost revenue. SOC 2 compliance helps you put security measures in place before an incident happens, reducing the risk of a breach and protecting your business from costly lawsuits. Think about it this way. You wouldn't drive a car without insurance, right? SOC 2 is your business insurance against cyber threats, regulatory fines, and lost customer trust. So the bottom line is SOC 2 compliance isn't just some bureaucratic hurdle, it's a competitive advantage. It helps you build trust, land bigger clients, and protect your company from financial and legal disasters. The best part is, if you follow the right steps, getting compliant doesn't have to be painful or expensive. And that's exactly what we're going to cover next, the ultimate SOC 2 compliance checklist to help you get certified the right way. So let's dive in. Step 1 is determining your compliance needs. Before you start working on SOC 2 compliance, you need to figure out why you're doing it and what exactly needs to be covered. This is where most companies go wrong. They rush into compliance without a clear plan, and it ends up costing them time, money, and unnecessary headaches. You want to clarify your objectives. Ask yourself, why do we need SOC 2 compliance? For most companies, it comes down to 3 reasons. First is customer demands. Enterprise clients won't work with you unless you're SOC 2 compliant. Second is market competitiveness. Having SOC 2 gives you an edge over competitors who don't. And third is just internal security goals, if you just want to improve your company's data security and protection policies. If you're in SaaS, fintech, healthcare, insurtech, or any regulated industry, there's a good chance your clients will demand SOC 2 at some point. So I recommend getting ahead of it now so you can save yourself from losing deals later. Next, you want to determine your scope. Figure out what parts of your business SOC 2 will apply to. This includes the systems that store or process customer data, the teams responsible for handling security, so this could be your IT, your DevOps, or your compliance department, and the vendors and third-party tools you rely on. This includes cloud providers, payment processors, etc. Getting the scope right is crucial because the bigger your scope, the more complex and expensive compliance becomes. Many companies waste time trying to make their entire infrastructure SOC 2 compliant when only certain systems actually need to be covered. Select your trust services criteria. SOC 2 compliance is built around 5 trust services criteria, but not every company needs all 5. Every company definitely needs security because that's the mandatory trust service criteria. The other 4, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy, are optional depending on your services and client contracts. Think of TSCs as the foundation of your security house. Each one is a brick that strengthens your defenses. Choose the right bricks and your security will stand strong. Choose too many and you might overcomplicate things. If you want to know exactly which TSCs you need and whether you should go for a type 1 or a type 2 report, you can use our free ChatGPT prompt that turns GPT into your personal compliance expert. In just a few minutes, it will analyze your business model and tell you exactly what's required. And this is going to save you hours of research. So I'll leave the link to that below in the description so you can access it. Once you've nailed down your objectives, scope, and criteria, you're ready for the next step, which is building your compliance team. So let's get into that. SOC 2 compliance isn't a solo project. You need a solid team to implement security controls, to track progress, and make sure nothing falls through the cracks. A weak team means mistakes, and mistakes mean delays, failed audits, and lost deals. Who should be on your compliance team? At a minimum, I would say you need IT security, the team responsible for implementing and maintaining security controls. Training is also key. Compliance isn't just about documents, it's about culture. Your team needs training on recognizing and preventing malware and phishing attacks, reporting security incidents quickly, and understanding SOC 2 essentials so everyone knows what's at stake. Step 3 is conducting readiness assessments. Now that your compliance team is in place, it's time to see where you actually stand. A readiness assessment helps you spot weaknesses before an auditor does, so you're not caught off guard when it really matters. Think of this as checking your house for leaks before a big storm. The goal is to audit your current security, policies, and processes to find and fix any weak spots early. Ask yourself, do we have clear security policies in place? Are our access controls strong enough? Can we track and respond to security incidents properly? And are employees trained to recognize security risks? The more gaps you catch and fix now, the easier your actual audit will be. Then you want to simulate the audit with a readiness assessment. A formal readiness assessment is like a dress rehearsal before a live performance. You can do this internally or bring in an external expert to simulate real audit conditions. They'll review your controls, documentation, and security measures just like an auditor would. If you're using an external firm, they'll provide a report highlighting compliance gaps. If you're handling it internally, your compliance team should go through the SOC 2 requirements and score each area based on your preparedness. Think back to your college days when you had a final exam coming up. Is the best strategy to just walk in without studying, hoping for the best? Of course not. You'd take practice tests, review notes, and go over weak areas until you're confident. A readiness assessment is your practice test for SOC 2. It helps you find mistakes now so you don't fail when it counts. Once you've completed your readiness assessment, you'll have a clear list of what still needs to be fixed. Next up, closing those gaps and getting fully prepared for your SOC 2 audit. Step 4 is a gap analysis and remediation. Now that you've completed your readiness assessment, it's time to bridge the gap between where you are and where you need to be. This is where most companies either set themselves up for a smooth SOC 2 process or fall into endless back and forth with auditors. Let's make sure you're in the first group. Start by listing out all the SOC 2 requirements and comparing them against your existing security policies, measures, and controls. This is your gap analysis. It shows exactly where you're falling short. Common gaps include missing or outdated security policies, weak access controls like employees still having permissions they don't need, a lack of a formal incident response plan, or inconsistent employee training on best security practices. Your goal is to identify every gap that an auditor would flag so there's no surprises later on. Once you've identified your gaps, it's time to fix them. Update your security policies to align with the SOC 2 standards, implement access controls to ensure only the right people have access to sensitive data, conduct training sessions so your employees understand security protocols, and establish an incident response plan so your team knows exactly what to do if a breach happens. Don't underestimate training. Many compliance failures come down to human error, not technical issues. If your employees don't know what a phishing attack looks like or how to report a security issue, your compliance efforts won't hold up. Once your gaps are addressed, you're ready to move on to the next step, implementing and testing your security controls. By this point, you've identified and fixed your compliance gaps. Now it's time to put your security controls into action and make sure they actually work. This step is critical because even if you have the right policies on paper, auditors need to see that they're enforced in practice. SOC 2 compliance requires a mix of security controls across 3 different areas. Prevention, so stopping security incidents before they happen. This could include multi-factor authentication or MFA for all sensitive systems, strong password policies and regular updates, or employee security awareness training. Second is detection. This is identifying threats early before they cause damage. This includes real-time security monitoring and logging, alerts for unauthorized access attempts, or regular vulnerability scanning. And third is correction, responding and recovering quickly from incidents. Incident response plans that outline exactly what to do in the case of a breach are required here. Also, data backup and disaster recovery procedures, and automated patch management to fix vulnerabilities fast. Each of these controls must be documented and implemented properly before your SOC 2 audit. Once your controls are in place, you need to prove that they actually work. This means running internal security tests, penetration testing, and reviewing system logs regularly. Do your security alerts trigger correctly? Are unauthorized access attempts detected and blocked? Can your team respond to an incident quickly and effectively? Once your controls are deployed and tested, you're ready for the next step, documenting everything to prove compliance. At this point, your security controls are in place and tested, but if it's not documented, it didn't happen. Auditors don't just check what you've done, they check whether you can prove it. Meticulous documentation is your compliance paper trail. SOC 2 compliance requires detailed documentation of your security policies, procedures, and controls. This includes access control policies, who has access to what and why, incident response plans, which is really talking about what happens if there's a security breach, data encryption standards, which outlines how are you protecting customer data, employee training records, which is proof that security awareness training actually happened, and audit logs, a record of security events and how they were handled. Every control should have clear documentation that explains how it works, how often it's reviewed, and who's responsible for maintaining it. This not only satisfies auditors, but also makes your security processes stronger and repeatable. Let's talk about communicating compliance internally and externally. Compliance isn't just about passing an audit, it's about building trust. Internally, make sure your employees understand security policies and their role in maintaining compliance. Externally, communicate your SOC 2 status to customers and partners so they know their data is in safe hands. With proper documentation and communication in place, you're now ready for the next big step, preparing for your SOC 2 audit. Step 7 is audit preparation. You're almost there. The final step before your official SOC 2 audit is making sure everything is locked in and ready to go. This is your last chance to catch mistakes before an auditor does. Before scheduling the audit, do a final review of your scope. Ask yourself, are you covering the right systems and processes? Have any new tools or vendors been added that should be included? Cover your report type. Are you going for a type 1, which is a snapshot of your controls, or a type 2, which is your controls tested over a period of time? Confirm your trust services criteria too. Are you only including what's necessary? Because overcommitting to criteria you don't need can make compliance harder than it needs to be. Run through everything. Are all your security controls fully implemented and tested? Are your policies documented and up to date? Do employees understand security protocols and their roles? Are incident response and monitoring systems working properly? If you catch any issues now, fix them before the audit starts, not after the auditor points them out. With your readiness assessment complete, you're now ready to take the final leap, scheduling and undergoing your official SOC 2 audit. So step 8 is budgeting and cost planning. SOC 2 compliance isn't just a security investment, It's a financial one. Planning your budget up front helps you avoid unexpected costs and delays down the road. Here's what you'll need to budget for. First, audit fees. SOC 2 audits typically cost between $10,000 and $50,000 depending on the scope and complexity. Second is compliance tools. Security software, monitoring systems, and automation tools can range from $5,000 to $40,000 per year. Third is employee time. Internal staff can spend hundreds of hours on compliance tasks, pulling them away from core work. And fourth, consultants if necessary. External advisors can cost over $10,000 if you need extra help. Now let's talk about cutting costs with automation. Many companies overspend on compliance simply because they rely on manual work and outdated processes. Easy Audit automates compliance tasks, helping companies save up to $50,000 in manual labor and consulting fees. With automated controls, real-time monitoring, and AI-driven guidance, compliance becomes faster, cheaper, and more efficient. If you're interested in getting a demo of Easy Audit, I'll leave a link below in the description so that you can book a free demo and see exactly how it works for you. You also want to know your costs before you start. If you want to see exactly how much SOC 2 compliance will cost your business, you can use our free compliance cost calculator. This will give you a custom estimate in just a couple of minutes, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well. With your budget in place, the next step is finding the right SOC 2 auditor and scheduling your audit. Now that your budget is set, it's time to choose the right SOC 2 auditor. This decision is critical because a knowledgeable auditor ensures a smoother, more predictable process. Not all auditors are the same. Look for one who understands your industry. They'll know the specific security risks and controls relevant to your business. Look for one who has specific experience with SOC 2 audits. A specialist can interpret requirements clearly and minimize confusion. And also look for one that communicates effectively. You want someone who explains findings clearly, not just hands you a report full of jargon. An experienced auditor is like hiring a guide who knows the terrain. They won't shorten the journey, but they'll help you avoid common pitfalls and unnecessary detours, making sure you stay on track. With the right auditor in place, you're ready for the final step, undergoing the SOC 2 audit itself. You've planned, prepared, and tested. Now it's time for the real deal, your SOC 2 audit. The key to success here is preparation and adaptability. First, I would say schedule smart. Audits require time and focus, so schedule yours during a low business activity period to avoid disruptions. If your team is already overwhelmed with product launches or peak sales periods, adding an audit on top can lead to mistakes and delays. Second, I would say to prepare your team. Before the audit starts, make sure everyone involved knows what to expect. Your compliance lead should have all documentation ready, your IT and security teams should be on standby for any technical clarifications, and your leadership team should be aligned on security policies in case of high-level discussions. Third, I would say to address findings proactively. Once the audit begins, the auditor will review your security controls, documentation, and processes. They might flag gaps or weaknesses, but that's not a failure, it's an opportunity to fix issues before the final report is issued. If you're prepared, the audit should go smoothly. Once it's complete, you'll receive a SOC 2 report, your official proof of compliance. Step 11 is continuous monitoring and maintenance. Passing your SOC 2 audit is a big win, but SOC 2 compliance isn't a one-and-done process. To keep your certification and protect your business, you need to maintain compliance year-round. Firstly, implement real-time compliance monitoring. Security threats don't wait for your next audit, and neither should you. Implement tools that provide real-time monitoring of your security systems, flagging unauthorized access attempts, configuration changes, and security risks as they happen. This helps you catch and fix issues before they become compliance failures. Secondly, regularly update your security controls. Cyber threats evolve, and so should your security controls. Regularly review and update access controls to ensure employees only have permissions they need, incident response plans to reflect new risks and technologies, employee training to reinforce security best practices and phishing awareness, and third-party vendor security to ensure your partners stay compliant. Think of SOC 2 like fitness. It's not about hitting a goal once, but maintaining it over time. Automating compliance monitoring and setting quarterly security reviews keeps your company ahead of threats and ensures your SOC 2 renewal is smooth every year. With continuous monitoring in place, your SOC 2 journey doesn't just stop, it gets easier. The last step is promoting your SOC 2 compliance. This is the fun part. You've put in the work, you've passed the audit, and you've secured your SOC 2 report. Now it's time to use it. SOC 2 compliance isn't just a security achievement, it's a powerful sales and marketing tool. The first thing I suggest you do is announce it publicly. Share your compliance status with the world. Publish a press release, update your website's security page, and add the SOC 2 badge to your homepage. This reassures customers and prospects that their data is in safe hands. Secondly, use it in your sales and in your marketing. Your SOC 2 report can be the difference between closing a deal and losing it. Make sure your sales team highlights SOC 2 compliance in calls, proposals, and client presentations. Update your marketing materials to reflect your security commitment. It's a huge trust signal that can help you win enterprise contracts. Thirdly, I would say to get the AICPA SOC badge. Think of the AICPA SOC badge as a badge of honor. It signals credibility and security excellence. Display it prominently on your site, email footers, and sales decks to reinforce trust with your prospects and clients. Security and compliance are competitive advantages. Use them to differentiate your business, build customer confidence, and unlock new growth opportunities. Let's cover some common pitfalls in SOC 2 compliance. SOC 2 isn't just about passing an audit, it's about maintaining security over time. But many companies make costly mistakes that lead to delays, security risks, and lost deals. Let's break down the most common pitfalls and how to avoid those. Firstly is treating SOC 2 as a one-time task. Many companies view SOC 2 as a checkbox exercise. Pass the audit, get the report, and move on. But compliance isn't static. Security threats evolve, and so should your controls. Without ongoing monitoring, compliance efforts will fall apart before the next audit. Avoid this by implementing continuous monitoring for security threats and quarterly security reviews to keep policies updated. Second, poor documentation equals compliance failure. If it's not documented, it doesn't exist in the eyes of an auditor. Missing documentation is one of the top reasons companies fail SOC 2 audits. Common gaps here include no formal security policies, missing logs of access controls and security incidents, and no evidence of employee security training. Make sure you fix these things. Keep detailed records of all policies, system logs, and security updates. Well-documented processes make audits and renewals easier. Third is mishandling your SOC 2 report. Your SOC 2 report contains sensitive security details. Treating it like a marketing asset is a mistake. Couple things I want to mention on this. Sharing the full report with every customer is a mistake. Ignoring NDAs before sending security details is a mistake. And also exposing reports in emails or unsecured storage is something you want to avoid. Create a sanitized summary for general sharing and only provide full details under NDA when necessary. Fourth is understanding resources and rushing the process. Many companies underestimate how much work SOC 2 requires and rush into the audit unprepared. The result of this is missed deadlines, failed audits, and wasted money. SOC 2 requires dedicated security personnel to maintain controls, legal and compliance oversight for policies, and enough time. SOC 2 prep can take 3 to 12 months depending on readiness. Plan your compliance roadmap carefully, allocate enough resources, and use automation to reduce the manual work. Fifth is ignoring third-party risks. You can have perfect security, but if your vendors don't, you're still vulnerable. Many companies focus on internal security while ignoring their third-party partners. Don't make the mistake of not vetting your vendors for SOC 2 compliance, or failing to review cloud and SaaS provider security. Or even worse, no formal third-party risk management process. Think of it like locking your front door but leaving the back door wide open. Your security is only as strong as your weakest vendor. To fix this, regularly audit vendors, require SOC 2 compliance from your key partners, and include security compliance requirements in contracts. Making these mistakes can cost time, money, and deals. But if you treat SOC 2 as an ongoing process and not a one-time task, you'll be much better off. Keep clear, up-to-date documentation, share reports securely and selectively, allocate enough time and resources, and hold vendors accountable for security. You'll not only pass your SOC 2 audit, but maintain trust and security year-round. Now let's talk about using AI to automate SOC 2 compliance. SOC 2 is time-consuming, expensive, and full of manual work, but it doesn't have to be. Easy Audit uses AI to automate the entire process, cutting timelines from months to weeks while saving you over 100 hours of manual effort. Most companies waste time tracking down evidence, writing policies, and manually mapping controls. Easy Audit eliminates these pain points with AI-powered automation. We provide the relevant security controls to tell you exactly who is responsible for each compliance task, ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. You also get AI-powered document mapping to scan all your security documents, org charts, and policies, and then attach them to the relevant SOC 2 controls instantly. On top of that, we have one-click policy generation, which creates security policies in seconds. No more filling out templates or starting from scratch. With Easy Audit, compliance work that used to take weeks now happens in minutes. Every company's security needs are different. Easy Audit ensures you only implement the controls that actually apply to your business. We're the first platform to have an AI-driven risk assessment, which is based on the ISO 31000 and NIST frameworks. And this identifies the exact controls needed for your SOC 2 audit, so you don't waste time implementing unnecessary ones. It also shows you the relevant security controls to assign responsibilities to the right team members and map out the best tools to use, ensuring a streamlined process. You don't have to guess what's required. Easy Audit tells you exactly what to do. The average SOC 2 process takes 6 to 12 months. With Easy Audit, you can cut that down to just 3 to 4 months. We do this with framework cross-mapping, meaning if you're working towards multiple compliance frameworks like SOC 2, ISO 27001, or HIPAA, Easy Audit aligns them all, reducing any duplicate work. You also get automated evidence collection, which means less back and forth with auditors, making the process smoother and faster. Instead of drowning in spreadsheets and compliance checklists, you can let Easy Audit handle all the heavy lifting for you. Schedule a demo today and see how AI-powered automation makes SOC 2 compliance fast, painless, and cost-effective.